Countryside, it's Joe Smith, your general manager, and we're back again with another project update. And holy cow, Mike, you were not kidding last time.
I said this would be the week.
This would be the week, the milestone.
Yes.
So you're watching this video on Friday the 27th. We're actually recording this Wednesday.
Yep.
They're going through preparations to get the site secure for the tropical storm.
Yep.
Which we are going to have tomorrow.
I think it's a near miss as far as super bad, but
yeah,
we're definitely going to get 40 to 60 mile an hour winds.
Have some wind and some rain.
Yeah,
and,
plenty of rain. So
I'm guessing like what we have every afternoon, it's just going to be a full day of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
A little more horizontal.
Yes, yes.
So.
But on to the big milestone news here, Mike. We are under a roof.
Yep. We're on the porch of the Lakeview Lounge.
Yes.
In the opening where we're going to have our folding glass wall.
Yes.
30 feet wide. Mm-hmm. So we're right in that gap, the bar right behind us. And you could actually put some hoops up and shoot some baskets.
This is incredible.
It's a great space.
This is incredible. Yeah. I mean, the vault and it's. Yep. I know there's a lot more to come, but I mean, this is pretty impressive. Well, and the building from the outside. I mean, the comments all week long have just been.
It's a great design. We have an open gable to the air. Then we have a gable that'll have glass in it.
Yes.
Above. Opening to the cathedral ceiling, which is continuous from the bar inside all the way to the outside porch.
So you're going to have all this natural light come through this porch area, in through the bar, and I mean the ceiling feature will carry all the way through.
Yes, we'll have the cathedral ceiling straight through all the way versus the pool cafe's a hip, which slopes on 4 directions. This one slopes on 2 directions, straight gable. So that light comes right through the end, all the way through. We're going to have a continuous feature of the ceiling with the false beamwork. So it's going to be somewhat articulated, not just a big flat ceiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see the quality of the space now. It's great.
It's awesome. I know some of you have been back this week, and the first thing everyone has said to me is the videos don't do it justice.
Sure.
So I think the same holds true with what we're looking at now, and particularly on the outside of the building. We'll drop some aerials in that I took over the last couple of weeks, but you know, just seeing the shape of this side of the building is impressive.
Right.
I mean,
they even got some waterproofing on today. So by the middle of October, we'll be 100% dry here. We'll have doors and windows coming in. So it's moving along nicely.
Exciting.
But yeah, you can really feel when you're at the slab level how big the rooms are. Yeah. This porch seats maybe 40 people for dining. The bar, we know, seats 30 around the bar, but another 100 or so seats. You can see where the booths will be and the hallway to the bathrooms. So it's really coming together.
It's awesome. It's really awesome. So we had our roof trusses arrive on site for the pool cafe.
Yep, they came on schedule, but with the wind planned, and they decided to switch all the carpenters to this end. Right. Button this up as much as we could. So they got most of the plywood. Again, once the trusses have plywood, they're about as stiff as they're going to be. But before that point, they're somewhat susceptible to damage, and if one truss starts going, they all go down. Dominoes, so they're braced, but now with the plywooded, it's really a good tight membrane as far as resistance to the weather. The water will still come in here and there, but at least now we're not in any danger.
But structurally, we're
good and sound. And so those trusses for the other end, now that they're here, they'll start back there. Maybe Friday, but probably Monday. I don't know what Charlie said, but next week.
Yeah, next week is what they're targeting.
So. And then you'll have the same level of discovery when spaces are enclosed. It's going to look like a building.
They did this in a matter of 6-7 days. I mean, they moved pretty quick.
Yep. Well, the trusses went in a day and a half. Yeah. And then they had some stick framing to do around to knit it together, and then the plywood. So, you're only talking a week and a half.
It's awesome. And just as we've said, you know, the past few videos we've said, you know, by the middle of October when people start to come back, this building is gonna have its shape. Right. And visually you'll be able to see what it really looks like. And right on target. Which is awesome.
Looking good. So yeah, the schedule is still holding for March to do final inspections and wrap up and think about transitioning into the building through April. And I know you're working on some plans there, so we'll be able to probably get some members into the building middle of April to see
There's
how.
Sneak peek.
See it.
Peek.
But I'll let you put that together.
Yeah.
So construction-wise, we're looking good. We don't have any open questions from the design team. We're just going, marching right down through the schedule. All the contracts are bought out, so we're locked in on price. We're still solid on contingency. So we're starting to think about, as a committee, what are the things that we had to cut out of the job that don't affect the utility of this building, but add back to some of the quality.
Some of the wish list items, right?
So things like refurbishing the old main bathrooms, doing something nicer at the front entry, getting rid of those bricks that are all around the doors and stuff. The storm shutters that we're looking into for the pool cafe. And we have a new alternative that we're reviewing now.
Is a great solution, I think we found.
It's only about 35% of the cost of our original plan for storm shutters and solar.
And it'll be more usable operationally, I think.
Yes,
longer term.
Yeah, so we saw a good product today up at the showroom. I think the committee will take that up. Putting the doors out of the dining room to the patio, which we saved those doors from the atrium, so we can get a cost there. So we have the contractor working on pricing up some of the alternatives. If we pull the trigger on them, we want to do them in sequence. We don't want to wait till the end of the job and say, oh, we have all this money left over, let's remodel the bathroom.
Tear it all up again.
So we want to get anything door and window related, get that in now. Anything electrical, get it planned for. So we're in a good spot financially.
It's awesome.
And very pleased with the quality of the work and the way our contractors are performing.
It's great.
Yeah, it's good.
All good things.
Really nice, really nice.
I think they buttoned up a lot of the site work also. I know down at the Wellness Center, the expanded parking area, they got that storm drainage in. I have some aerials of that that will show.
So we're ready for pulling the lawn out outside of Wellness, with the aerobics end of the Wellness building. They can start grading that, and we probably should see some paving here in a few weeks. But I think all the big excavations and the underground structures, I think we're tight and buttoned up where we need to be. Those are safety issues too, when those trenches are open, and we had some big ones.
We had some big ones,
10, 15 foot deep. You could have dropped 3 cars.
50 foot long. They were big.
So good to see all of that for safety all closed up, and all that drainage is ready to go. You can see the risers for all the downspouts are these, I think that's 8-inch corrugated pipe, and that'll pick up all the water off the roofs as we close in. And, good to have site getting cleaner.
It's coming together,
So we still have some rock to take away. We still have the old roof shingles, the roof tiles to take.
There's a little bit of site work in the parking lot on the other side of the pro shop, just some parking spaces that we're adjusting. So that'll kind of happen periodically over the next couple weeks.
We tried, as everyone knows, to eke out every parking space we could. So in places where the landscape island was extra wide, we could steal 9 feet. We would do it. So there's 5 or 6 spots we're picking up in the existing lot outside the pro shop, just by going to those islands and skinning them down. And the code says you can have up to 10 spaces in a row before you need a landscape island. So we had a lot of spots where we only had 7 or 8 spaces.
It's efficiency, making better use of that space.
So the per cost space there is maybe a little higher, but we need those spaces and we need them close to the building. So we're going to grab what we can there.
Awesome.
And I think our drainage swale by the Bullifry Garden, we still have some excavation
they were working on some of the grading there earlier this week, and I think there's some irrigation that we're trying to sort out
there.
And relocate. So.
And I think that's the big site work other than the pool, which is not starting till November. And that'll run November, December, January to get the last part of the site. And that's the finished end of things, and they'll basically back out the work out that direction. So we won't see the pool to the very end. But that's the way they're planning it. It's looking good.
And November's not that far off.
No, it really isn't.
I mean,
really
it's around the corner here. So, if we could just do a quick kind of snapshot of the next maybe 3-4 weeks, what can we expect? I know Charlie has mentioned lining up the framers. You mentioned windows being on order.
I think October 14th was a big date on Charlie's schedule to have most of the roofs dried in. Certainly this end of the building. Windows and doors going in on this end, maybe windows first, doors later.
Switchgear was around that date as well.
Switchgear comes the 13th, and they got to get it in the building. That's a big task.
Yeah.
And then they have about 2 weeks to get it energized.
All the HVAC is in Heatherwood's warehouse.
Yes. Yep.
So that's ready to be deployed.
So Charlie's drying out the flat roofs here above us after the storm. They've already started some of it, but once those flat roofs above the Lakeview Lounge are watertight, they'll put the curbs down and drop the units right on there. So
awesome.
We're a few weeks from those actually just being craned on. Because what the architect did is wherever we can see the building, we try to do a sloped roof with the concrete, the clay tiles. Where you don't see it, where we've done recessed areas, a flat roof where we can drop our equipment.
So what's nice about that is with the face of that, you don't see any of the equipment.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, which is neat.
Which is the zoning requirement too. You're not supposed to see equipment on a roof.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
It's supposed to be behind either a screen wall or, in our case, a false hipped or gabled roof with the normal shingles on tiles, and then down behind is flat areas.
You know, previously, a lot of that equipment was on the ground level, like in some of these landscape beds.
Right,
we had hidden it over the years, but it was always overgrown, and I just think they're easier to maintain when they're up on the roof.
Oh, yeah. So both of the roof areas at each end of the building have a ladder up to a hatch that gets you up to those areas. So our maintenance guys for regular filter changes and so on will have an access point.
Easy access.
But they'll be on a flat roof, walking around, not balancing on a ladder, not having any, not near an edge of a roof or anything, or trying to get their way through the poison ivy to the equipment that's susceptible for flooding and you know, other damage. So it's a smarter approach. We did task the engineer at the beginning to explain the best way to heat and cool our building. 99% cooling, obviously, 1% heating. And he said the clubs like this continue with a system like we had, meaning multiple small package units with their own condenser, serving different zones, rather than, say, a single large boiler and cooling system, chiller, which you might do on a school or a large. So we're big enough to merit that kind of equipment, but we don't operate in the same way. We have zones of our building that are open at different hours.
Well, we have 2,000 members who each like a different temperature.
There's that.
So we try and accommodate the best we can. But also, you know, all kidding aside, just from a maintenance standpoint, you know, it's nice not to have the entire system doesn't go down.
Correct.
Right? So maybe we're doing maintenance or we have an issue with this unit, and we can still cool other areas of the building.
And the building is open, other than the office suite and the kitchen. We're wide open, so that'll work for you.
Awesome.
And now we have the outdoor options.
These, I'll tell you, these outdoor options are just, again, we keep talking about this space here in the view, and now that the roof is on, and you have some depth perception. It just, again, I picture people sitting at a table here, probably you, and just enjoying this view out here. I mean, it's just an awesome space.
Well, the old bar had a low ceiling, it was flat, and it went over to a set of windows that were kind of narrow, and which were cut off on the bottom by the bar. So you basically had a little slit of view. Now we have a panoramic view, 20 feet tall.
But even over here, we've got these 3 large windows. If you're sitting in the bar along the side here, there was no view there previously. You know, you looked out onto that small patio with the 3 high top tables that we consider outdoor seating. And there wasn't a view there anyway.
No, now you can watch, number one, the whole, you can watch the tee box, you can watch guys going down the fairway. So
it's
awesome. It's just amazing. We have 270-degree views here on this corner of the building.
And when you think about it, we're just talking about a very small part of what we have for outdoor seating. And we haven't even touched on the other side there. So, but we'll save that for another milestone video.
I would say 2 weeks from now we'll be at that end where we are right now.
On schedule.
We'll have the plywood on, we'll have a sense of the space.
Awesome.
It's going to be a totally different, but still, you know, nice volume, but it's going to be different, and that'll be nice too. Different experience.
Well, exactly. You know, one clubhouse, but we're going to be able to offer different experiences in different spaces. And you all, the community, you'll you'll have that feeling.
Right,
You know,
right.
it'll feel better, more exciting to come to the club a couple times a day.
You bet.
Right?
You bet.
So
I think we'll have many more regular visitors than we've had in the past.
Can't wait.
Because now there's more choices and a lot more seats to
can't wait.
get, and you'll get staffed up next year. And
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Awesome. Awesome. Does that cover it?
I think so.
That's a lot. I
think
mean,
so.
that's a big one. So,
Yeah.
awesome. Well, we'll be back on schedule another couple weeks
Sure.
with another exciting update. And
Tomorrow's a down day for the storm.
yeah,
Not a big deal,
Yeah.
but not good enough to be having guys on roofs and
yeah,
stuff.
it's better to play it safe.
So we'll be in good shape.
Back on schedule. Committee, I know a lot of the committee members are starting to come back in town.
Yes.
So we'll be meeting on site. You guys will start walking the site regularly, and
Sure.
I know they're all looking forward to that. So
Yeah,
good
we're
stuff.
certainly in the next 30 days.
Good
we'll
stuff.
probably see you.
Awesome.
You
Mike,
bet.
as always, thanks for the time.
Okay.
Countryside, comments, questions, send them our way. Always make sure, pay attention to the website. That's all the best source of information. But we appreciate you watching these videos, and we're excited for this season. It's going to be an awesome one.
You bet.
We'll see you around the club real soon.